Microphone check. Hit me with a bruh if y'all can hear me. It's your boy, the NetworkBruh. Alarm going off. Dismiss. Today's topic is restricting extended VLANs on trunks and changing the VTP version. I'm going to go ahead and give it some time for some people to log in. I was just doing a little bit of reading here on actually native VLANs, which was the topic that we went over yesterday. Again, we're going to give it some time for some people to log in here. Hit me with a bruh if y'all can hear me. I already have GNS3 launched here. I'm gonna go ahead and drag and drop. We only need looks like 2 switches here. Both of the switches gonna be in VTP transparent mode. I'm gonna go ahead and drop them onto the topology right now, and I'm gonna wait for about 5 to 10 minutes for some people to log on here. S-Smooth, what it is? We got S-Smooth in the building. You've been consistent, man. How you been? Where you tuned in from, S-Smooth? This gonna be switch 1. Next one gonna be switch 2. Now I'm gonna power them bad boys on, cable them up, and then wait for a bit for some people to log on. Devon Clements in the building. What's going on, Devon? Where you tuned in from? Just in case y'all don't know, I'm over here in Orlando, Florida. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here. So this is switch 2. I've been trying to promote these live streams here so that way we have a better learning environment. You know, the more people, the merrier. You know, I might give some. There might be some misinformation coming from the network, bro, and we might have somebody in here like S-Move to come in here and correct me and be like, "No, dude, that's not how we restrict VLANs. This is how you got to do it." So I don't know everything, and this is why I try to invite more people to come in here. And you know, like the other day, we had your boy Kelvin Tran, who has his own YouTube channel. He's a really smart guy. Y'all go ahead and check him out. I'll put a link in the description or a link in the chat for y'all to check him out. But you know, he gave us a lot of information, so we have some people like that to log on or watch these streams here to help us out. You know, like I said, I don't know everything. I consider myself a you know, CCNP level engineer. I mean, I was studying for the CCNP, but you know, I feel like I have a lot of gaps in my knowledge, and this is why I'm going back and reviewing a lot of this stuff. Plus, I love this book here, which, by the way, this is where we get the labs from. 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA version 4, learn by doing. You can get it from 101labs.net, but there will also be a link in the description below, which takes you to Amazon to get the book. It's authored by Paul Browning and Farai Tafa. We got Mohammed Farouk in the building from Portsmouth, UK. I remember you from, I want to say it was like the 2nd or 3rd live stream that I did. What time is it over there? It's over here. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 8:04 to be exact. We're going to put both of these guys in VTP transparent mode. You guys know what that is, right? We are going to put... Let me do this. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and console into these bad boys. Actually, we need to power them on. And then console. 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 We're going to close this. This is all we're going to need. Devon got my CCNA after checking out your content. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for getting your CCNA and still tuning in. So that's what's up. Appreciate that. And congrats on getting your CCNA. What are you working on right now? You just going back and reviewing and stuff like that, or? S-Smooth, you in Brooklyn? Is that what BK stands for? That's where my brother lives. He lives in Park Slope. He lives in Park Slope, Brooklyn. I'm originally from Harlem, New York. Did we not get into the switch 2? I know we powered them on. Console. What's going on here? There you go. Switch 1 to switch 2. And y'all gotta excuse me if I'm missing any of your chats because my screen over here, I did a little ghetto rig hookup here. Even though it's a open box monitor, I got an HDMI going to DVI-D. So it's 1:05 in the morning over there. Well, appreciate you for tuning in, Mohammed. Yeah. That's smooth. What part of Brooklyn you from, man? So you on the same time over here. Devon, you in Denver, so I guess it's about you Mountain Time Zone over there. We got a spanning tree message there, no NVRAM found. So basically we're gonna create 4 VLANs. Let me tell you what the objective of the objective lab of this lab exercise is for us to learn how to restrict VLANs traversing trunks. We got this interface right here. We're gonna make this guy a trunk, right? We're gonna put both of these switches in VTP transparent mode, and then we're gonna create 4 VLANs on both of them, but we're gonna only allow, I believe, just 1 VLAN across the trunk. It says here, VLAN trunk restriction is a fundamental skill. By default, all VLANs traverse trunks. Traverse meaning travel across the trunk, right? Y'all know I like to keep things simple. Sometimes they be using these big words and stuff like that. I don't care. I'm gonna get to the CCIE level, and I'm gonna still talk to y'all this how we do whatever technology it is. So we're just gonna try to simplify. Y'all know how we do on the NetworkBruh channel. However, in some cases, this may result in unnecessary VLANs being propagated, and this may pose a security risk. VLANs being broadcasted or going across the trunk, right? As a Cisco engineer, as well as in the Cisco CCNA exam, you will be expected to know how to restrict VLANs from traversing trunks. So it's kind of like, y'all know I always like using the nightclub example, right? So we know we have a nightclub and we've got VLANs 1 through 5 that want to come into the nightclub, right? But we only want to let VLAN 5 into the nightclub. Nobody else can get in. That's basically what we're doing. We're restricting certain VLANs to come into our nightclub. So switch 2 is the nightclub. Switch 1 is the nightclub. But okay, so we got 2 nightclubs, right? But we only want to let VLAN 5 going across to go between the 2 nightclubs, right? Because he got the VIP pass or whatever the case may be. That's what we're doing here, right? And we're gonna show you how to do that. Devon working on Linux Plus before you go back for the CCNP. That's what's up, Devon. I don't know if you ever heard of Josh from Keep It Techie. He has a YouTube channel that focuses on Linux technologies, Linux distros, basic Linux commands and stuff like that. And Devon, Linux Plus is super important. I can tell you right now, I had a job interview for a network engineer role, right? And the first interview was basically a screening interview. The recruiter was just basically asking me, some questions, and he said he saw my resume, wanted me bring me in for an interview. He asked me some basic, networking questions. Then he asked me some basic Linux questions, which I was able to answer. And then he was like, "Okay, well, I think you're a good fit. I want to set you up with an interview with the engineers over here." And he said, how familiar are you with this? And he said, how familiar with Linux? And I was like, well, I got some basic Linux technology, understanding or whatever. And he was just like, well, yeah, they gonna really ask you some Linux questions. They're really heavy on. I just was like, yeah, whatever. Well, come to find out, once I got to that interview, they asked me some, basic, networking questions, and then they got to the Linux questions, and it was just like, they grilled me, and needless to say, I didn't get that job. So, Devon, that's what's up. If you're studying for Linux Plus, it is a must-have skill. So, Gonzalo Nicolas in the building. Shout out to Argentina, right? You tuned in from Buenos Aires, if I recall. Let's go ahead and get started here. We are 9 to 10 minutes into this. We need to create 4 VLANs on this guy right here. Y'all know what I should do? Y'all know what? Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Okay, so we need to create 4 VLANs on both of these guys, right? Put them in VTP transparent mode. Let's go ahead and start with the, in preparation for the VLAN configuration, task 1. Configure host name on switch 1 and 2 as illustrated. So we need to make him switch 1 and him switch 2. So that y'all know how to do that, right? We go to, I do this like almost every live stream, right? Let's go to switch 2, and change his host name. Enable global config mode, host name switch 2, and he's still translating over there. Can't you stop that with what? Control Shift C? I can't remember. There it goes. I don't remember what the command is. I just mashed the buttons like a 6-year-old playing that beat you in Street Fighter, and there it goes again. So I think it's Control Shift 6 C. Control Shift C. Yeah, Control Shift C, because I just aborted it, didn't I? Do y'all remember what the command is? There it is. Enable global config mode. Host name is switch 1. And I keep messing up these. This monitor is killing me over here, man. I got to figure out another way to do this. Anyway, we need to put him in VTP transparent mode. Y'all remember what the by default what it is, right? It's in server mode, right? So, and we can verify that with do show VTP status. You can see he is in server mode, right? We're gonna put him in transparent mode. VTP. I just can't type today. Mode transparent, right? So now he's in transparent mode. And let's do the same thing on switch 2. I'm gonna follow the steps task by task, and I've been noticing that I've been jumping around lately. VTP mode transparent. So now he's in transparent mode. And just to let y'all know, the newer switches, you could just turn off VTP altogether with just VTP mode off. With this image, I don't think they got it. Let's just see though. VTP mode, right? Yeah, there is. I guess there is an off mode. So you can do either client, server, transparent, or off mode. I didn't think this image would have it, but that's good to know. Task 2. Configure and verify switch 1 and switch 2 in VTP transparent as VTP transparent switches, which is what we just did. Both switches should be in a VTP domain named Cisco. Let's go ahead and do that. We got Chris Denny in the building. Control Shift 6. Appreciate that, Chris. And then we need to do a no IP domain lookup. Let's just go ahead and do that, because I've been doing that in every live stream, right? No IP domain hyphen look up, and let's just copy that and put it in the other guy. Control Shift 6. I just mashed the buttons like, you know how the little 6-7-year-old was beating you in Street Fighter or some video game because they were just mashing the buttons. Well, that's what I did to stop that domain lookup there. Let's kill that. Okay, so now we ain't gonna have that problem. And this screen over here is killing me. I'm gonna punch this screen. I just need to get another monitor and just go ahead and get me an HDMI cable, man. Ugh. Killing me here over here. Okay, so we said we need to change the VTP domain to be all caps Cisco. Same thing on the other side. VTP domain all caps Cisco. Changed it, and we can verify our work with do show VTP status, and we're in transparent mode, right? Next task was, there's only 4 tasks here, y'all, so we should be knocking this out real quickly. I was gonna wait a little bit until we get a couple more viewers in here, but I said let's go ahead and knock this out so that way people can watch this and go back to their studies and stuff like that, right? Configure the switches to use legacy VTP version 1. And then configure, it says FA01, but y'all interfaces might be different. They want us to configure this link right here as a trunk. All right. So anyways, Chris, shout out to Chris Denny for that, for those commands there. Control Shift 6 if you want to abort the name lookup, and then to turn off the domain lookup, you just no IP domain lookup. VTP version 1. Let's go ahead and do that, and then make this trunk, make this interface a trunk. Y'all know how to do that, right? VTP version 1. It's already in version 1, so that's good to know. That's what he said, right? Version 1. Yeah, legacy version 1. It says here domain name change to Cisco. Oh, I already did that. VTP version 1. That should already be in version 1 as well. We can verify that with show VTP status to see what version we are in. It's capable of running versions 1 through 3, but it's currently running version 1, right? Last step here. Y'all hit me with that like button. And then, again, we're going to be doing this Monday through Thursday, Eastern Standard Time at 8 o'clock. This should be our last one for the week. Configure FA01 as a trunk. In this case, GI00 as a trunk. We're going to go to global config mode. Interface GI00. Switch port. Trunk. Encapsulation. .1Q. Y'all remember we got to do that first before we hard code it as a trunk, right? And then switch port mode trunk, right? So now that one is trunking. We may have some error messages over on switch 2 because we're trunking on that side, right? Or not. Or not. That side is trunking. So let's see. Show interface is trunk. It shouldn't be one trunk. Oh, I guess it is trunking. So we're already trunking there. But what they wanted us to do here, notice it says here, VLANs allowed to trunk 1 to 4094. So basically, we're allowing all of the VLANs allowed to trunk. So we're letting everybody into our club, whether they got the VIP pass or not. We ain't trying to do that, right? So we're gonna give who did they say they want us to do? Oh, we needed to create the VLANs though. We didn't get to that yet, did we? Configure and verify your VLAN configuration, switches 1 and switch 2, and ensure that they are identical. So before we even do that, let's create the VLANs. VLANs 2010, 2020, 2030, and 2040. That's the sales, managers, engineers, and support VLANs, respectively. Y'all know how to do that, right? I'm gonna give y'all the girl today. So yeah, VLAN 2010 is sales. Let's go ahead and do that. Go to switch 1. VLAN. I'm gonna have to get me another monitor. I'm tired of this. This screen is just killing me over here. 2010. 2010. Name is sales. VLAN 2020 is managers. Oops. Name managers. VLAN 2030 is engineers. It should be a really easy one, y'all. I keep doing the same mistake. You got to do name. Ports start switch port dynamic auto, right? But you want to hard code them. Never trust DCP. Yes, I know what you meant. I was like hardcore. I know you mean hard code, but yes, you want to hard code them to switch port trunk. Otherwise, you'll just be waiting for the other switch to kind of negotiate with you, and you don't want that. If you want it to be a trunk, it's best to do it hard coded by switch port mode trunk. You may have to do the trunk encapsulation.1Q. But yes, AO just picked up that 101 E-Labs book. Okay, shout out to AO in the building. We got the girl, bruh, today. AO, you've been consistent with the views here, man. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Chris has been as well, and so has Gonzalo. So far we just got these 2 switches. I know you just logged on, but we got 2 switches. We're configuring this guy in the trunk right here as a trunk, both sides, and then we're creating 4 VLANs. VLAN 2010, 2020, 2030, and 2040, and they're the sales, managers, engineers, and support, respectively. 2030 is engineers. VLAN 2040 is support. We got to do the same thing on the other side. Let's verify our work, right? Show VLAN brief. That's something else I got to get rid of. No, logging synchronous. Y'all see that message that keep coming across, right? So we just do, we go to the console, right? Line console 0, logging synchronous, right? Switch 2. Oh, this monitor is... Okay, so we need to do those VLANs on this guy. We're almost done here, y'all. We're on task 3, right? Out of 4. Let's try to knock this out really quickly so y'all can get back to y'all studies. Man, trying to learn for real. Hey, AO, I'm a Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. You know, spread the word. We're gonna try to get, like I said, my dream, my ultimate goal is to become a CCIE, and I'm gonna take all you guys with me. So we're going over the basics. I'm gonna be doing this, like drilling this in everybody's head. I'm gonna drill it in my head. You know, Chris be correcting me sometimes. I'm gonna remember that. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. It's best to do switch port mode trunk. So all of these little things is what we're gonna do to remember this. Y'all gonna remember this, and then we're gonna get to the CCNP level and start, you know, joking around and making these funny analogies, and then we're gonna sit in for the test, and we're gonna pass that, all of us together, and we're all probably gonna be able to make it to the CCIE level. I'm sure we are, man. I'm confident in all of us in doing this, man. I'm gonna take all of you guys with me. So switch 2. It's Vlan 2010, name, sales. And for y'all that don't believe me, my first IT job was like PC technician. And I remember telling somebody, I was like, I want to be a network engineer. And he kind of scoffed at me, not for nothing, you know. And it just was like, you're destined to be a PC technician, right? So that was like, I want to say 2012, you know, 8 years later, and I'm a network engineer and stuff like that, right? So I might say some things that seem outlandish or out of reach to some people, and you guys should develop that mentality too. You're gonna run into haters, you're gonna run into people that don't believe in you. You know, just keep doing your thing, keep studying, keep your head in the books, like, you know, just focus on becoming the best version of yourself, man. Sorry for the little Tony Robbins talk right there. I'm unleashing my inner Eric, the hip hop preacher Thomas over here. Vlan 2020, name, some managers. Vlan 2030, name, engineers. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost done. Vlan 2040. This is the one that's going to get VIP status, right? Name, support. Because they said here, let's look at our work. Show Vlan brief. Did I do it on this side too? I don't remember if I did. Yeah, we did. So, yeah, 2020, 2010, 2030, 2040. Same thing on this guy, right? Y'all see that? I'm going to get me another monitor. Hey, you never know. After all of that, knowledge, we can get together and start our own consulting company. Man, listen, if you want to do that, we can do that too, man. Get that bag. Love your energy. Appreciate that, Chris, man. This is how we gonna do, man. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, man. Like I said, I graduated college in 2010 and got my degree in management information systems. And then for a while, my first IT job was not until 2012, and I was a PC technician, right? And there was a guy there. He was a network engineer. And, you know, there's a video I talked about this if you go on my channel. And, you know, and I was trying to get some information on how to become a network engineer and things like that. And then, you know, it's like he kind of brushed me off. And from that point on, I knew I got to try to do this stuff myself, right? I'm not going to have somebody spoon feed me or whatever. So, and each job that I had, like, I went from network engineer, from PC technician, then I worked as like a desktop support, then I did like help desk, and each one of those jobs, there was always somebody there that either didn't believe in me or they just was like, you're destined to do this for the rest of your life. Like, you trying to be a network engineer, or you're trying to, you know, become better than us. Yeah, right. Well, you know, I'm not saying I told you so or anything like that, but I just ignored them, right, and just focused on doing me. And I want you guys to develop that same mentality, you know. But anyways, we wanted to allow just VLAN 2040 across this trunk, right? Across this trunk right here. That's what it says. Task 4. This is the last task. Allow only VLAN 2040 to traverse the trunk link on switch 1 and verify the configurations. Now, you may want to ask yourself, you might be asking yourself, why would we want to allow just one VLAN across the trunk, right? Well, let's say, here's the perfect reason why. We got the sales VLAN 2010, right? Let's go to switch 1, right? They all come across this trunk. I mean, they don't all come across this trunk, but let's say they're locally, so they're in transparent mode, right? So that means the sales VLAN in 2010 over here, managers is in 2020, engineers is in 2030, right? So all of the VLANs on here are not going across this. They are going across the trunk right now, but let's say we have this organization. We wanted this building for the sales to not be able to communicate with the sales guys in this building. Maybe they got some haters on the sales in this building right over here, or maybe we got some people in maybe we got some engineers on this side that don't believe in the network engineers on this side, and they just hating on each other, right? So we only want the people to communicate, like they says right here, the support team, because they support each other. So we're gonna only allow them across this trunk, right? How do we do that, right? If I remember correctly, you just go on the trunk and just allow. There should be an allow command. I can't remember what exactly the syntax, but you go to global config mode, and then it's interface GI 00. And before we do that, let's see what's allowed on the trunk, which I already seen for just maybe some people that walked in late, right? Interface trunk, and then you'll see all the VLANs are allowed on here, right? It says that right there. VLANs are allowed that are and are active. 1, 2020, 2010, 2030, and 2040. Well, we only want to allow VLAN 2040 across this trunk. We do switch port trunk. There it goes, right? Allowed, right? And then you type in VLAN and then the actual VLAN. So in this case, 2040. So now only VLAN 2040 is allowed across this trunk. But we go on the other side, we're not going to get any messages. There is still VLAN 2040 on here, right? But it's locally significant. It's local on here because it's VTP transparent mode, right? So if we do show interfaces trunk, he is still allowing all the VLANs across it, right? We go back to switch 1 and see what he's got allowed across his trunk. Show interfaces trunk. Only VLAN 2040 is allowed across the trunk. Y'all see that? Example, in an office. Fraudbot says in an office, you may have a voice VLAN as well as a VLAN for the PC end users, all connected to, my screen keeps blanking out, to the router from the same Ethernet port on a switch. Exactly. So you may want to just, for certain reasons, it could be, what I was explaining was bureaucracy reasons. What else? My screen here. I'm gonna have to get me another screen. Buckle down and get me one that actually does HDMI. I tried to get a rig it and get me a HDMI to DVID, and I'm getting these out of range messages. But anyways, so yeah, we're only allowing 2040 across this trunk right here. We didn't change the native VLAN. If you want to know how to do that, we did a video on that yesterday when we did live streaming. This pretty much wraps it up. We just need to allow the trunk. Allow 2040 on that trunk as well, right? Because it says allow only 2040 to traverse the trunk link on switch 1. Oh, that was it. They didn't want us to do that on switch 2. So basically 2040 is allowed across the trunk on that side. But on this side, all the VLANs are allowed across that trunk. So, and it's just like what Fraudbot said. You may have more than one VLAN on, example, for more than one VLAN. In an office, you may have a voice VLAN, as well as a VLAN for the PC end users, and connected to the router. So, yeah, perfect. That should be it, man. That's all. Look at the solution. I don't think they added anything else. Yeah, that's pretty much it. By default, all configured VLANs are allowed to traverse all configured trunk links. You can restrict certain VLANs to certain trunks by using the switch port trunk allow, which we just did. You can test this command, which also add or remove VLANs. So please spend more time trying to figure out all the options. Beware that it can remove VLANs if you have currently allowed. Oh yes, that's true. I remember somebody doing that at my job and wiped the whole VLAN. So y'all see how we did switch port trunk allowed VLAN 2040, right? So we're only allowing that right there. But if we want to add another one to it, let's say we wanted to add 2010, right? You have to do add 2010. You don't just do switch port allowed 2010, because now you're just going to allow just 2010 and you're going to wipe 2040 from being allowed across the trunk. So just as a bonus, let's do that on switch 1, right? Let's say we want to allow 2040 and 2010. What you got to do is go to the trunk port, right? Configure. We're already in configure mode. Why do I do that? I'm not even paying attention. Y'all gotta understand, it's hard to try to talk at the same time and try to do all this at the same time. So takes me a little bit to try to get this all get together. Anyway, GI00, right? Switch port, trunk, allowed, VLAN. No, you got to do add, I believe, after that. No, allowed. That's not what you do. Switch port, trunk. Where is it? There's an add a keyword that you got to do. Allowed, VLAN. Let's say 2010, right? No, that's not it. Y'all remember what the command is? I know it's definitely one of you. There's an add keyword for sure. If we want to add that to the trunk, switch port trunk, allowed, VLAN. There it goes right there. Add. So now we're gonna add 20. When I was learning that concept, it was crazy confusing. For me about fixing it by just adding the VLANs back. Yeah, because if you just add one at a time, you're going to wipe the other one before it. So you got to do add. Shout out to Brian Connor in the building. Brian, I believe you tuned in from India, right? Where all you guys tuned in from? I know Brian's from India. We got S Smooth from BK. Is Brooklyn in the house? We got who else? Gonzalo from Buenos Aires. Am I pronouncing that right? Buenos Aires. You know, I only took like 1 year of Spanish in community college. Yes, Brian. Switchport trunk allowed VLAN add and then 2010, which is what we were about to do. So 2010. So now if we do switchport, show interfaces trunk, and now we're allowing 2010 and 2040. Y'all see that? If I would have just done switchport trunk allowed and then VLAN 2010, it would have took off 2040 and just added 2010. So now we would just be allowing only 2010 across the trunk. So that was just a little bonus for y'all. Danny, shout out to Danny over in Holland, tuned in from Holland. That's the girl bruh for y'all. Let me go back to the dude. Anyway, this phone is slow. I need to upgrade all my technology. I got a slow phone. I got this monitor that just keep cutting in and out. Fraudbot. Shout out to Fraudbot all the way in Aurora, Colorado. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Next week, tune in next week. We're gonna do Monday through Thursday again, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna be doing some. So that wrapped up all the VLAN stuff, all the VTP stuff. We're gonna do spanning tree stuff next week. Woo, that is a topic that just kind of makes your head spin, don't it? It's killing me here. So yeah, verifying next week we're gonna do a Monday verifying spanning tree port states on catalyst switches. So basically, you know, the listening, the learning, and the forwarding states. I think that's just classic or just RSTP. I can't remember. RSTP, spanning tree protocol. But anyways, there's a couple of spanning tree protocols. I think there's the MST, which is multiple spanning tree, RS, PVST. There's a whole bunch of spanning tree types. But we're gonna go over the states of spanning tree. Again, this is a lab if you guys want to follow along next time. 101 Labs, Cisco CCNA version 4, learn by doing. Authored by Paul Browning, co-authored by Farita File. There's a link down below. If you want to get a copy of this book, that link will take you to Amazon so you can get this book real easily. But you can also go on their website to get it from 101labs.net. And that's pretty much it tonight. Y'all run me with that like button, man. Again, if y'all joined on any forums or any like Discord servers or any Slack rooms or anything like that, y'all let them know. We're gonna be going over a lot of the CCNA basics. So if anybody's studying for the CCNA, tell them to subscribe to this channel. We're gonna be doing this stuff Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not sure what time zones they are for you guys, but just do 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Google and see what time it is in your area. Shout out to Holland in the building. Shout out to Fraudbot. Shout out to Brian Connor all the way in India. Gonzalo all the way in Buenos Aires. Danielle in the building from Orlando, Florida, my girlfriend. She is originally from Warrenton. She is in the building. We also got S Smooth from BK. Shout out to all you guys. Again, Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For now, comment, like, subscribe to the network.